How's it going, people of the internet and of the League of Legends world? This is your host, Twigger, speaking to you in this high ELO commentary, this time featuring a couple members of Quantic Gaming. Sneaky Castro, High, and also Medios is in this game. All three members of Quantic Gaming. There are two missing balls of elimination, which they wish they were in this game as well, but we'll have to deal with these three for right now. Going to be an incredibly fascinating game to watch because, as we can see, Medios is actually playing a jungle Lissandra. So I don't think I've ever seen that in kind of like the diamond level scene. So that could be very, very cool to see if she's actually viable, if she's just going to get absolutely destroyed, or who knows what's going to happen. I'm confused. I'm excited to see it. Are you excited to see it? I am stoked to see it. But other than that, we got some pretty standard picks in terms of getting that Twisted Fate for High and also kind of the Ezreal pick. But there are also a couple unique picks here in this game, especially. Jax we rarely ever get to see anymore up in that top lane. So we're going to get to see that. Kennen as well in that top lane, a fairly unique pick. And Jungle Kha'Zix, we are starting to see a little bit more of that in the professional scene, but still not an overly unique pick. And a couple more on the OGs, can't talk about that because Flash coming out of the Kennen. That Ignite from the Jax not going to be enough to kill him, but good fight nonetheless in favor of that Jax. Flash for an Ignite. Definitely take that trade. But a couple unique picks over on this red side too. Kog'Maw not played overly often anymore. And support Nidalee. Always like seeing that Nidalee in the bot lane. Very cool champion. Still does have quite a bit of heals and quite a bit of damage when you land those spears. And the vision that you can get from jungle ganks with her traps if they walk over in some kind of high traffic areas. Certainly a quality support. I think kind of underrated. But maybe I'll be proved completely wrong if she gets owned in this game. But here comes Lissandra for a gank, using that E just to get a little bit more in range. Does miss her Q as well. Lissandra is still quite new, so I don't actually even really know her ability. Well, I know her ability, sorry. I meant the names of her abilities, so I can't really call them by name. Glacial Path, Ring of Frost, and Ice Shard. I will try to remember all of those names and try to call them by name. But as a lot of you might know or might not know, Quantic Gaming, one of the challenger teams that came into the summer promotion series in the North American LCS, did manage to beat, I believe it was Complexity Gaming that they went up against. And they managed to take that series, and now they're in the LCS for the summer split. Going to be very, very fun to watch them play because they are an incredible team. And they bring quite a few kind of new tactics and new champions into the LCS and into the game. So going to be kind of cool to see how they fare against some of the big name teams like Dignitas and CLG and Curse and TSM, who did still manage to stay and keep their spot in the North American LCS. Sneaky Castro, I would say, he's such a good AD carry. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. But as we're speaking about that, the first blood actually goes off. TF picking that one up. Kha'Zix with a great jump from behind the turret on that Diana. But nice little stun card. TF tanking up a couple turret shots. Just enough so that way Kha'Zix can jump in there, do the damage that he needs. And they secure that first blood very, very cleanly. Can never complain about that one. I find it always kind of funny to watch. The Glacial Path coming out of Lissandra, and wow, a great Ring of Frost, also landing that Q as well, doing a ton of damage to Kha'Zix. He's actually having to flash away and get his arse out of that one. But what I was just saying, it's always fun watching teammates face up against one another. So sadly, High got placed against his teammates Medios and Sneaky Castro. But it's always kind of fun when the one person ends up beating the two or something like that. Must make for some interesting house dynamics or, I don't know, tensions maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not on a pro gaming team. I'm not even on a gaming team, let alone a pro one. Let alone anything. Let's stop all that. So a lot of damage coming down onto this Ezreal here. That Arcane Barrage poke out of Kog'Maw, pretty much doing work on him. Thresh is really kind of walking around trying to find a hook, but cannot seem to find it. They do have that brush control for their lane brush, but no brush control in the red team's brush, so they actually don't even know if Nidalee is still there, which is why they're playing a little bit hesitantly, because she could still do quite a bit of damage with her spears. She does still also have that Ignite, so they are playing a little bit cautious, which is definitely in favor of the Kog'Maw, because now he's getting some free farm, and they're still kind of nervous about him. And Nidalee's going to come back into lane with some items. And it looks like we have a gank up in the top lane. Jax actually going balls deep again and manages to pick up the Kennen. His Ignite being back up from that previous engagement. So I don't think Kha'Zix or Kennen expected, after that gank from Jax running away, for Jax to turn around and jump right on in. And now he's actually going to try to take on this Kha'Zix. And I think he's going to do a damn good job of it. Twisted Fate's trying to get in there, but he manages to take down the Kha'Zix even before Quantic's High gets there for the save. Luckily, TF did manage to pick up the kill onto Jax, but still the damage had been done. Jax picking up 2 kills, already up in CS 37-28, and now picking up 2 kills there. It must feel pretty good to be Jax when you can turn a 2v1, well, a 3v1 gank into 2 kills for your death. Not a position that the blue team really wants to be in. A fed Jax is a terrifying thing. And it looks like they're swapping up the lane. Well, yeah, it looks like they might be swapping up the lanes. No, you know, Kennen might just be getting some farm. Thought they were going to plan on swapping TF and Kennen, but I wouldn't think that'd be a very great idea, because unlike Kennen, TF doesn't really have that escape mechanism. He does have a stun card, but if he can't land that stun card immediately on that Jax, TF's going to just get annihilated. So they're definitely going to be swapping those lanes back, get those standard lane matchups going. Kha'Zix warding over top of that blue brush, sorry, the blue brush. Why am I questioning myself? Come on, Twigger, you know this. Grab going onto the Nidalee, and Thresh actually feeling ballsy going right over onto the Nidalee, and Sneaky Castro in a bit of a bad position with this Kha'Zix. The Ignite going down on Kha'Zix from the Nidalee, going to be enough to kind of scare him off. And it doesn't look like they're really going to go in on this one, but it looks like they went a little bit too deep. Diana coming in, picking up a kill on the Kha'Zix, the stun card coming off on her, but it's not going to be enough to take her down. The Ignite ticking down, I don't think it's actually going to be enough unless a great wild card comes out, but Meteos, the jungle Lissandra, is going to be enough to scare him off. The ultimate being used onto him, and the great spear coming on Nidalee, so a lot of damage going down. I don't know if it's actually going to be enough to pick him up. It doesn't look like they have enough sustained damage. The wild card's just barely grazing nothing, really. Didn't manage to pick up Cursed Altic. And Meteos now under fire from this Ezreal. Manages to dodge the Q, but that's all she wrote. Nothing else really going to happen here. Sneaky Caster just dodging out of the way of that Ezreal Q. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the action. Quite an action-packed 30 seconds there. Currently sitting at 4-2 in favor of this red team, about a 700 gold lead. Ezreal trying to pick off somebody who might have been being in that brush. And now Meteos taking a bit of damage from that TF wildcard, but does manage to pick up the blue buff because she does have Smite. It's not your standard mid lane Lissandra. She does have Smite and can secure those buffs quite easily for herself. Now Jax running around in his jungle. Kha'Zix is also in his jungle, going for that red buff. And it looks like Diana is going to check. The pings have come out. So Diana might actually be able to find Kha'Zix here. I don't know. He's just going to jump over the Baron wall, looking at that mini-map to figure out exactly what was going on. He just jumps over that Baron wall, and no harm, no foul for that Kha'Zix. Manages to pick himself up a nice little red buff for him. So not a bad trade. And it's funny because the red team did ping that red buff, so I think they knew that something was kind of going on there. And I thought that Jax had smelt that one out when he went into his jungle, but no, he was just going to get some extra farm with those double golems. And once again, we have Jax jumping in on this Kennen, but Kennen has her ultimate this time, and look at the damage going down onto Jax. I don't know if it's going to be enough. No, the last tick of Ignite is not enough to pick him off. Under 10 health for that Jax, I believe it was. And Kennen is sitting there like a boss with a little bit of health, but there's a Glacial Path from the Lissandra. Not going to be able to hit Kennen with that Q, the Ice Shards, there we go, because of that flash coming out of Kennen. So, not a horrible trade, actually. Lissandra didn't burn her flash and managed to get the flash out of Kennen, so Jax might be able to have a little bit easier of a time with Kennen up in that top lane. And it looks like Lissandra's not doing too bad of a job. 0-0-0, so no kills, not really a huge impact yet, but sitting with 61 CS over the Kha'Zix 33. But here comes the TF gank that we've all been looking for. High ganking Sneaky Castro, and they do manage to split up very, very well. The stun card has been locked, and it actually was enough to take down Sneaky Castro on that Kog'Maw. Very good play out of TF, just locking those stun cards, making sure that he was in range for the entire time to get those stun cards off, hitting those wild cards. TF can do a surprising amount of damage when he lands everything that he needs to. And one of the things that lacks in Kog'Maw is escape moves. He did put down that nice gooey sludge there and slowed the movement of Ezreal, TF, and Thresh, but not enough. Not enough. And I think he did burn his flash also in that little engagement, but the blue team now taking this opportunity to try to take a dragon, and very much not good because Kog'Maw on Thresh has quit, and Heaven Time on Kha'Zix has also quit. So that sucks, because now there's a free kill on a DC'd player. And it's kind of unfortunate, because with the new changes that you can't see, well, not the new change, actually, it's been a while, that the enemy team can't see when you've DC'd for, I think it's 5 minutes. They had no idea that Kha'Zix was DC'd. It looked like he was just running back into base, and his jump cooldown was not up yet. So not the best thing. They're probably going to realize that sooner rather than later. And the damage coming down onto Curse Altic. Diana taking so much damage because of that turret. It took like 3 turret shots, but the shutdown bonus going to the Lissandra. Oh, you didn't want to see that. They would have gotten that kill pretty darn easily, but being stunned underneath the turret while she's taking turret shots. Very well played on High's part, making sure he used his turret to the fullest to take down Diana. So 2v1, and he manages to pick up a kill. I'll take that trade anytime. And the one thing you don't want, I can pretty much say, is that you don't want all the kills going onto one player, even if it is a TF. TF not being the most resilient champion in the game, doesn't have a whole lot of escape abilities, so if the red team decides to just jump all in onto that TF, and they do have people to do that, it's not going to be good, because all their damage is just going to go to the wayside. And it looks like Kha'Zix trying to do a little bit of gank here after coming back from being AFK, but the Ignite going down from the Nidalee, that's going to be enough to pick him up. Twisted Fate now coming in. Is he going to be able to land the stun card onto Sneaky Castro? It doesn't look like he's going to be in range. He's just trying to run away. The goo coming out to slow them down, and that is going to be all she wrote for the action there. Or is it Lissandra? Double buff is going to be coming up this way. Probably going to throw her Glacial Path out here over the wall and land an ultimate. There's the Glacial Path. There it is. There's the Ring of Frost. A lot of damage going down onto High. Lissandra's really holding on to her ultimate. I don't even know if it's up. It's not actually up, so that's why she didn't use it. But the double buff being taken away from TF. Definitely not the place you wanted that double buff to go. And look at the damage going down onto Ken, and just gets absolutely blown up. Diana doing a ton of damage with that needlessly large rod. Man, not much that you could do about there. I think she took a little bit of poke previously, and then just that full-on engagement. But it looks like Kha'Zix is in the mid lane now, also being hurt quite a bit from this Diana. Diana's ultimate is not yet up. She did use it without the moon mark onto Kha'Zix, but still doing a ton of damage. There's the heal coming out of Kha'Zix from his Void Spikes. But once again, not going to be enough to take down Diana. TF now trying to pull a blue card. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the action. Very glad to see that both Thresh and Kha'Zix managed to make it back. Played a couple games today, and there was quite a bit of lag on the server that I found, so maybe the professional players are also just dealing with that a little bit. I doubt any of these guys at something like the Quantic Gaming house are suffering with their performance. Great little jump from the Jax, dodging those wild cards. The box from Thresh coming up. I don't know, they are going to go right on in on that. The ultimate coming out of Lissandra. Don't know if it was necessary. High picking up that one with the Ignite, and the tower actually picking up that Jax, but the kill from the tower does go to the Kenny, getting that last shot onto Jax. 2 for 2 so far, and doesn't look like the fight is necessarily over as Ezreal comes for some TF support. But look at the damage coming out of Kog'Maw. Oh my god, but it might have just been enough bait for a Heaven Time to come in and just slash and dash that Kog'Maw to bits. Man, that was just blown up, and great job on that Ezreal to just sit there and kind of take the shots and bait that one in, because both TF and Kha'Zix were there for some support, and it was enough. Oh, the spear missing from Nidalee, the Ignite going down, and the shutdown going to TF. What were you thinking, Nidalee? It's a TF with full mana. Come on now. And look at that. Now he leaves the game. So I guess that was just a disconnect there. Or it was just, I killed the Nidalee, I got the shutdown bonus, I've done enough for my team. Peace! Who knows what the hell that was. Pretty sure it was just a disconnect there. But, man, High is doing just a phenomenal job. Tied in CS with this Diana, but 7-1-2. Real powerhouse right now. Already has that Lich Bane completed and his Sork Boots along with 2 Doran's Blades, and it's only 16 minutes into the game. can't really complain about his start. Now it looks like Ezreal is disconnected as well, so the blue team having all sorts of trouble. And kind of interesting to see that red team has not had any of these issues. Very, very curious. And that is actually just saying if these guys actually are in the Quantic Gaming house. I was going to say they should be having the same issue, or if it's a Riot server or something like that, they should be having the same issue. But in all honesty, LCS is on a break right now during the World Finals, not the World Finals, the All-Star Games in China. So they might not be in the same house. They might all have gone home for a little bit of a vacation. But Jack's getting caught a little bit by 3 members of this blue team. The stun going down and a lot of damage actually being pulled out. Oh, Jesus, that spear almost got him. So that's exactly what I was saying before, is that High is incredibly strong, but you have people such as Jax, such as Diana, and such as Lissandra with her Glacial Path that are going to be able to jump right in on TF, completely avoid that front line and go straight to TF. So if they can just take him down, then no problem. There's a Glacial Path coming out of Lissandra, but it's not going to be enough. High just does so much damage. That one stun card followed by wild cards and an auto attack. Going to be plenty. But Sneaky Castro getting jumped on by this Kha'Zix. The ultimate coming down from Kennen and a stun card landing. Going to be all she wrote for that Kog'Maw. Unreal amounts of damage coming out of High right now. And the double flash was a smart move coming out of Kennen and TF to make sure that they lock down that kill onto Sneaky Castro. He is still worth a fair chunk of gold, and they're now going to have enough members of their team still alive to just run in and start pushing down these turrets. Ezreal is still disconnected, so they don't have their full strength. It looks like High was just kind of running in to see what he could do. Not exactly the smartest move, because now Diana got that killing spree of 500 gold. Yes, he was actually worth that much. The box is coming down. Oh, good God! Jax just annihilated that Thresh even through the box. Holy, Jax is sitting at 233, but not really with a ton of items. Hasn't completed his Trinity Force yet. Not really sure how he did that much damage. I guess it was the Diana as well. But wow, they did so much damage in such a short amount of time. And I hate to see this, but they don't know yet that Ezreal's DC'd, so it is kind of taking advantage of the DC, but it's also a smart play because they did manage to take down the Thresh. Not a bad time, 4v5 to go for this Baron. It is still very early in the game too, 19-minute Baron. They probably didn't have wards up, so it was still a smart play. I don't think that they were just making this call because they hadn't seen Ezreal in a while and thought that he was AFK. So great play on the red team's part, picking up that Baron, really kind of securing a bit of a gold lead here. 13 to 12, 31.2k to 26.6k. And the 3 turrets are what's really making the difference here for that red team, and along with that Baron. Everything else has been fairly close. And once again, I can only reiterate it so many times, with all the kills nearly being on that TF, if he dies, the blue team is screwed. And look at how much damage that Diana is doing, and there we go, there's TF dead. So one of those things where now that TF is dead, there is really not much the blue team can do about a team fight because no one else is really doing all that much damage. If those 9 kills had been spread out a little bit more evenly, maybe they would have been able to do something. But the Thresh and the Kha'Zix trying to take on this Diana, but Thresh looks like he's actually going to go down, and Kha'Zix is going to go down, and Thresh does not want to stay here and fight this one. Curse Altic on Diana is just doing so much damage, and there's the double kill. So 2v1 and taking down both people, that is actually better than what I was saying before about 2v1 and taking down one person. That you could certainly top that. And Diana proving her worth right there, taking down Thresh and Kha'Zix. That red buff definitely coming into play. And now Kennen coming in, trying to just poke away as much as she can. But going to run away from that one. Jax is pushing up that top lane. Probably wants to stop that minion push. Kennen's just going to go up there, try to stop Jax from being all the way up at the second tier turret. But Ezreal is now back at a 2-level disadvantage over that Kog'Maw. Not the position that he wanted to be coming back to, but that's kind of what happens when you DC. And now High taking a whole ton of damage, but Curse Altic actually getting stunned. Don't know if he's going to be able to do anything to the TF. No, he is not. Shield coming out of that Thresh, guaranteeing that kill. And Jax jumping in onto Kennen and just blowing her up once again. 2-4-2 for the Kennen, 1-3-3-3 for the Jax. Pretty much half of the devil right there. And look at the damage coming down. The Kha'Zix is going to drop. So once again, Jax doing that amazing trick of killing somebody as TF is coming in. He doesn't need to run away yet. He hasn't killed the person yet, so he's just going to stand there and kill them. Sneaky Castro oh jeez, that was very, very close. Sneaky Castro taking a lot of damage from the turret, waiting for his minions to come so he could push that turret a little bit more. But the ultimate coming out of Ezreal and actually hitting him, but not enough damage to kill Kog'Maw. And it's actually great because this support in Italy is now starting to really do some damage. She has that Athene's Unholy Grail and those Sork boots, and she's also got a Tear of the Goddess, which she is stacking. And when that thing gets completed, so it's already at 740, so a couple more spells and that thing is going to be completed. And if she turns that into an Archangel Staff, her spears are going to be doing a ton of damage. And as I'm speaking of what could happen, the ultimate comes down onto Ezreal. The barrier going out, actually managing to survive that one, but I don't think he wants to stay here. The flash coming out of Ezreal to avoid those ice shards. But the ignite going down from Nidalee, I don't know if it's actually going to be enough to kill anybody. They're really just kind of poking each other down. The Thresh ultimate coming out to avoid the damage coming out of that Nidalee. But Thresh going to block that spear for Ezreal. And oh my god, Kennen just got wiped! Man, but there's TF coming in for that gank, killing off Meteos, that jungle Lissandra, but Diana is just in that brush, just waiting to come out. She does have her ultimate almost available. Now it is available. She jumps in, doing a lot of damage to the Thresh. The Zhonya is being popped, so TF does not have a stun card yet, and I don't know if she's going to be able to do much more. Her flash is available, but her ultimate is not. Still a couple seconds on that cooldown. She's really waiting for that one to come out, because when she gets it, she will be able to kill this Ezreal. There's another Q coming out and killing the Ezreal. He is dead. Surrender vote coming out for the blue team, but it is going to fail 1-4. Don't know who the one player was, but as this was all going on, this incredible action going down in the bottom lane, Jax was just pushing this entire time. So he takes down that second tier turret, going to be pushing onto that inhibitor turret, so people need to go up there and start reacting to him, but no one can really deal with him. As you can see, he jumps into that inhibitor turret. The stun going to come out from the Kennen. I think it's going to be enough to kill Jax without the Kennen going down, but as you can see, he nearly just blew up Kennen, deleted her off the map nearly. So they need to send more than one. It's the perfect split push strategy where you need to send more than one person to deal with the one person split pushing. There's the ultimate coming out of TF to try to get out of the way of Sneaky Castro. Nice little cheeky play there, making sure that he could actually escape that. But did he actually escape that? As we can see, Nidalee is coming down to this bot lane. A great spear. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Zhonya's coming out, but there's the ult from the Kog'Maw. Going to be enough to clean up that TF. And now Kog'Maw is going to try to slow down this Ezreal. The one-on-one duel coming down and going to be enough to pick up Ez. But now Sneaky Castro's in a bad position, doing a ton of damage to the Thresh. Is this going to be enough? Is this going to be enough? It is going to be enough. The triple kill coming down for Kog'Maw. Sneaky Castro picking up that Thresh as well with his dead body. The Noxian surprise. Very, very well played. And a perfectly timed ultimate. But I can't talk about that yet because the red buff proc is onto this Kennen. The last Q is going to be plenty. The red buff slowing down Kennen just enough to land a very easy Q onto Kennen. And for somebody who started off the game pretty decently, Kennen has fallen off completely. And it looks like Heaven Time has been caught. Kha'Zix getting absolutely blown up by Jax and Nidalee and by Lissandra. So I had to mute my microphone there. I had to sneeze, and I have no idea what that would sound like into my microphone, but it would probably not be appreciated by headphone users out there, or anybody watching this video when it comes out. Oh my god! You couldn't even explain what happened there. Diana Johnson, hold on, I want to watch that again. Screw that. I am going to rewind, because the damage... Holy God! Hai couldn't even pick out a card. He couldn't even react. He couldn't even click his Zhonya's. Well, his Zhonya's was down, but I'm sure he couldn't have even clicked that thing, because that was like a 3-shot from the Diana. Look at that, she nearly did the same thing to the Ezreal, popping that Zhonya's Hourglass to avoid the True Shot Barrage, taking nearly no damage from a jump into 3 people. Oh, dear Lord, Diana's doing so much for her team right now. And look at that, once again, chunking down Kha'Zix, and through the Lantern uses her second proc of her ultimate to catch up to the Kha'Zix and kill him. There's the double kill coming down for the Ezreal. Well, on the Ezreal, I should say, not for the Ezreal. Ezreal just got absolutely destroyed. Jack's trying to jump in to do as much as he can, but no, actually he was jumping in because he wanted to troll around, because the surrender vote was already done. 4-1 for that blue team surrender vote. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that game. I'm very glad to be kind of commentating some new faces to the North American LCS. Everybody from Quantic Gaming, love those guys. They are incredible players, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of them in my commentaries because they will be in the LCS for that summer split, and I wish them the best of luck if they do end up watching this video. I don't think they will, but hey guys, if you do, really big fan. So great gameplay by all of these guys. Great gameplay by the red team. Unfortunate about the blue team DCs, but they did manage to come back for a little bit. And High really demonstrating what he can do on that TF. Definitely somebody to watch. And the jungle Lissandra from Meteos. Some meta breaking stuff going on in this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next commentary.